Hello, ladies, and welcome to season 2 of LOL Living Out Loud. So nothing's changed. Grab your lady, that means your girls. Grab yourself a drink and a journal. You're going to need a pen. And come on in to LOL Living Out Loud. Good evening, ladies, and welcome to LOL Living Out Loud. Tonight, I have some friends with me. We're on Zoom because, we can't, get in a room together. So we have Sam, she's back. We have Regina, back again. And we have Marty, back again. And tonight, as we deal with the season topic of the makings of us, we're going to deal with singleness. Being female, and in our cases, being Black, being 50 plus, and being single. So I want to know, before we get started, I did some research, and I've been doing some research for a few weeks when I knew this was coming. And I was looking for information on YouTube, about 50 plus women, particularly 50 plus Black women. And I was disappointed. As I was telling Marty earlier, I could find stuff about our exercise and getting our body in shape and natural hair and makeup and traveling, but I couldn't find anything. And those things are all well and good. We need to look our best and we need to be healthy, but I couldn't find anything that dealt with our soul, that dealt with who we are, that would help us be bolder. I mean, we're still talking about the same stuff that we were talking about when we were 20, 30, 40, and 50. We need to progress. In our 50s, yeah, we want to look nice, but what are you looking like in the inside? Have you cleaned up any of that mess? And then I went on a hunt to find information about being a female, Black, and single over 50. All I could find was church stuff, and y'all need to know I'm a church girl. If you haven't listened to LOL before, I'm more than a church girl. I am a minister. I am a reverend with a doctorate in ministry. And all I could find is wait on God. God is preparing you. Okay. None of that is working for me. It is not working for me. So with these sisters that we're going to talk to tonight, some of us may be single because we were once married and divorced, and some of us could be single because we've never been married. And those of you who are listening, I don't know if you're single or married, but you might be able to get with some of this conversation that we're going to have tonight. So your writing prompt tonight for your journal is just going to be to deal with singleness. Write about it, talk about it from any perspective you want. So I'm going to start with this question. I'm going to lay it out. We're going to try to be orderly because we're on Zoom and we know y'all aren't in the room with us. But first, I want to know, if you're single, why are you single? Anybody want to answer?
I'll start. This is Marty.
Hey.
I am single because I find that I like my own company. I like my own company. I like my peace of mind. And I find that the paths that I have crossed with the opposite sex, because I am a cis heterosexual, the paths that I have crossed with a lot of gentlemen who are in my age group, I find a lot of lack out there. I have not run into anyone that, maybe besides one person, maybe one or two people that have really just even excited me or even made me even just want to say, here's my digits or anything like that. Or, let's meet for coffee or let's meet for anything. I find that the mentality out here is that, people are just so quick to want to they want sex. And I'm just going to be real. I'm going to keep it real. And so most of the time, that is not what my end goal is, for a relationship. So that's the main reason why I am single, and I'm learning to enjoy my own company.
Sam, I'm going to go with you now.
Hi, this is Sam. So I guess I was married before. I'm happily divorced. And I was in a relationship, I guess about 2 years ago, trying to do something new, and ended up dating a narcissist. And I've learned a lot from that relationship. It was a 3-year relationship, and I am happy with me. I love me, and that's why I'm single. The pickings are slim. Men our age are too needy, or they're looking for a younger version of somebody that they never could get when they were young.
Okay.
All right, Regina.
Ooh.
Talk to it.
I am single, definitely out of choice. Not out of, just definitely out of choice. I've been married multiple times. Nobody needs to know how many, but anyway, I've been married multiple times. And so I'm very clear that what I want is a lasting relationship. And I'm very clear about what I want and what I don't want. And that has evolved over time. So I have little tolerance for foolishness. You know, I'm over 50. I mean, I'm like going on 57 years old. I just don't have time for foolishness. And you know, I love intimacy. I love relationships. I'm a hopeless romantic, all of that good stuff. But I'm fine focusing on me. And until the right one comes along, I don't want to just, and that's another thing for me. I don't want to just settle, because even in between the marriages, I have settled sometimes. And settling is not an option for me.
Okay. So I'm going to give you guys another question. I want you to give it some real thought and hear the difference. What is it that you want if you're going to be in a relationship? And ladies listening, I want you guys to give this some real thought. What is it that you want from your partner, whether you're straight or gay? What is it that you want, and what is it that you need?
Ooh.
Anybody?
That's a good one.
Okay, go ahead, Sam. You ready?
Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
Go ahead, Sam.
Because me and Valerie have had this, me and Rena have had this conversation before, and I think, and I'm with Regina, but I just want to be chosen and not have to settle. I want somebody to.
Regina got her hands up. She's in work.
I want somebody that will consider me, that I don't have to make all the decisions, that care if I'm tired and want to accommodate me, that will really be my helpmate and not try to drain the life out of me on what they can get, what they can use me for, but for somebody that can really love me for me and choose me first.
And you said that's what you wanted.
That's what I want.
What do you need?
Ooh.
I need all of that too. I need all of that.
That's why I'm gonna ask.
Let me tell you.
What do you want, and
let me tell you why. But let me tell you why it's the same.
Okay.
Because I've had the latter. I've had to make all the decisions. I had to come home tired, cook a meal, and they just chill like they're at a hotel. I I've had the relationships that they didn't choose me.
Mm-hmm.
I need that. I need that going forward. I need somebody to really want to accommodate and take my feelings into consideration.
Okay.
To do for me, to love, and I'm not even going to say to love me like I love them, but to be in love with me.
Mm. Okay, Regina's having worship. There's just no shout music coming down from this chat. So I'm going to let Regina go, and then I'm going to come to Marty.
Woo!
What do you
Bam!
want and what do you need?
Bam! Lord have mercy. That is me 100%. So I'm going to answer your questions, Reverend Valerie.
And those of you who are listening, I know Rena is, the logo. Rena.
Okay, Rena.
My name is
Rena.
Valerie, but Rena's my nickname. So y'all call me.
So what I need, I need someone who supports Regina 100%. I need someone who is not intimidated by Regina 100%. I need someone who will think ahead of me. Go ahead of me, because I'm a brand. I'm big. I'm a big brand. Okay, because I'm a brand. Everything about me, I'm a brand. And so you have to anticipate me before, you have to kind of anticipate me. And I'm not saying you got to know that up front, week one. But if I date you for 3 or 4 months and you not anticipating me, that's probably a problem for me. So, and what I want is the same, is a lot of the same. I want to be loved. I want to be first. I want to be the priority. And a lot of people say to me, they're like, oh, but Regina, you have, people that you're dating, they may be dealing with elderly parents. They may be dealing with whatever the situation is. Okay, so I'm in a sandwich generation. I've got young kids and older parents, and I'm a community activist, and I'm a community member, and I'm a pastor, so I have a lot too. But if I prioritize you, you certainly got to prioritize me.
You better say so.
And you can't, and I don't need to tell you how to prioritize me.
Right.
I don't want to tell you, because if I tell you, I'm sorry, it's not needed. Because if I got to walk you through all of that, it's not needed. So there I am. Val, let me stop right there, because I probably, Jesus.
Hey, Marty.
You start.
What do you want? What do you need?
Lord have mercy. That is such a very complex question, because I'm a complex person. And so I just need somebody who wants to be a we, someone who is in it for the long haul, someone who is committed to the covenant and not just me, the individual. I need someone who knows Jesus. Okay. I need someone who knows, but I need someone who has some faith and some belief, because we're going to go through some things. And I need somebody to have some foundation there. I need much what Regina and Sam have already said. I need someone to put me first. I need to be considered first. I need, I'm not a high maintenance person. I don't need a whole lot, but it's the little things for me that add up and become the big things. So the little thing, like if I come home and I'm tired, maybe you, like you say, anticipating, maybe you think ahead and maybe you order dinner, or maybe you cook, or maybe you know that there's something I like. You'll think about me and say, hey, consideration. I need consideration. What I want. I want someone who's financially responsible.
Mm.
I want someone who has their stuff together. You know, as far as being a man, I'm not about raising nobody else's children.
Mhm.
You need to come to me a man. I don't need a boy. I need you to come to me with adult responses, emotionally equipped, able to, be intellectually stimulating, as well as being able to adapt to different environments, because we as Black people, we code wherever we go. So I need you to be adaptable. And again, I just need you to be there for me. I need you to get me. And I need you to get me on the good days and bad days. I just need somebody that's willing to work with me, not against me, not trying to control me.
Right.
I don't need to be controlled. I've been without you 50 plus years. I just need a companion. Okay.
Okay.
Let the church say. Okay.
Let the church say amen.
I need someone who doesn't mind giving me praise and raising me up. Everybody's always talking about, you got to stroke a person's ego.
Right.
Well, it goes both ways. I mean, I'm not saying you got to do it every day. I'm not needy like that, but I'm just saying every once in a while, I want to feel appreciated. And I think that's just the biggest thing. I just want to feel appreciated. I want to feel like I am not in a relationship by myself. It takes two.
Okay. So here's another question. So when we were younger women, 20s and 30s, and we would go out and we might be with our friends or go out to a club or whatever we're doing, we get dressed and we had those very trim and tight bodies, that you have when you're coming from teen into 20s. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And you're 50, and I'm not saying your body's not straight, but it ain't 20.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And, because we don't have, we're not in Hollywood. So we don't have Janet Jackson's trainers and Oprah's cooks. We live in real world. Okay.
Amen.
We don't have, and our weaves don't have weaves, and we don't have filtered lighting. We are regular everyday women. So when you all look in the mirror and you step out the door, and let's keep it real. We know men look and we know women look. What do you think they see? In other words, how do you see your own outward self when you step out the door? Do you present yourself in a way that a brother would talk? Because let me tell you something, you can be 500 pounds and book a man. So that doesn't have anything to do with it.
Come on now.
Now you step out how you think.
What's her name? Kira?
There's many people that there's many big women, ugly women, you name them, whatever you think they are, that have men and have had the same man for 30 years. And I think it has more sex. Being sexy is confidence too. And sometimes we get beat down so hard in society, we don't have the confidence that it takes to even attract them in, because we could be down on ourselves. Now, I'm not saying that's any of us. I'm asking you a personal question though.
I'll step into that. Mm-hmm. I always walk in that confidence, even with my stomach and my belly hanging out or whatever the situation is. Because I do know exactly what you said, Valerie. And that's part of what I need and want. I want somebody to love me just like I am right now. Like, don't say, like, I was in a relationship with someone that said, they knew me back when I was slim and blah, blah, blah. And they said, oh, I want you to get back there and then you'll get a ring.
Oh, wow.
Negro, please. Goodbye. But anyway, I'm just saying, and I actually fell into that because I was like, oh, he's probably pushing me and motivation. No. I want you to love me as I am right now. And as I am right now, I don't carry myself in a, like I get up, I put on nobody can see because we're on the podcast. I put on my lashes, I put on my makeup every day. And most of the times I'm at home in sweatpants and all of that kind of stuff. But I do that every day for myself. So because I give that to myself, I feel I'm available and ready for anybody that wants to come along.
Marty, Sam, who else want to take that?
Well, I know when I go out these days, especially with a mask on, I don't wear makeup. I don't put on any makeup. But now that I'm, going back to work or whatever, well, even before this, I'm not approachable. Somebody walk up on me, baby, I ain't even gonna front. Somebody walk up on me, and I'll tell the dude really quick, my ball's bigger than yours. You don't want none of this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You ain't gonna walk up on me. And see, that's what happened when I was dating the guy. I was trying to do something different, like a softer approach, because I know you need to be approachable. I know that, and you have to feel good about yourself in order to exude that out to others. So I get that, but I'm working on it.
All right. Martlin?
I like to dress. I'm not like, real overdone. I'm not a big makeup wearer, but I will put on I put on some lipstick. I put on, some eyeliners, maybe a little mascara, and I try to make sure I'm looking presentable when I leave the house. I don't go to the house, go out of the house with my night clothes on or anything like that, so definitely don't believe in that. So, I try to be approachable as well, so when I go out, I try to speak to people and just have a jovial, countenance because it makes me feel better. So I dress according to how I'm feeling. I don't do anything for anyone else. I don't dress for a man. I don't dress for other women. I dress for me. And so I dress pretty much how I feel. And I guess I walk with that confidence, that I'm just feeling good about being out, feeling good about, I try to, in my quest for gratefulness, again, this is part of working on me,
right?
Because I'm more focused on myself so that when that person does, or if that person does come along, that's fine. They should enhance what's already here. But I have to find that for me. And so I like to dress. I like to wear cute clothes and, and nice things. So, and I see myself as somebody that just likes to do herself. I'm not trying to put on any airs, or I'm not trying to go out to attract a man either. That's the other piece. I'm not really, really conscious about who's looking at me and how they're perceiving me, because I really don't care. That's
what
where I'm at.
Supposed to bring.
I don't care. It's about what I think about me, and so I'm learning to really, really love me.
That's what LOL is about. I have another question, and I'm going to ask it loosely so you can do what you want with it. It is a question that's going to require a little vulnerability. What do you do about the loneliness time? So I'm not even asked the question, do you get lonely? Because everybody gets lonely. We were not created by God to be by ourselves. So don't try that one on LOL. So what I want you to do is, what do you do about the loneliness? I'm not talking about when you can get on the phone and call your girls or see your family. I'm talking about when that loneliness is in the context of wanting a man, even if it's just for 15 minutes. Whatever. You do what you want with that question.
This is Marty. I just moved through it. I moved through it. I've learned to live with it.
How?
I moved through it. I've learned to live with it because, I spend a lot of time with me,
How
especially
do
in
you
this
move
time of
through it
COVID.
for the ladies listening?
Oh,
How do you move?
you know what I do? Oh, yeah. Okay, so yeah, this is a little bit of vulnerability here. So I watch Sex and the City. I watch shows that bring me joy.
Mhm.
So I find coping strategies. Sometimes I'll go out for a walk. Sometimes I will. Most of the time, I'll just pretty much watch a television show that really. I have some taped television shows that I use to boost me up. And you and I have talked about this before, but just watching the series of Sex in the City and watching some of my favorite episodes, or watching Pretty Woman, or watching, Jumping the Broom. Some of my favorite shows that are on television, I'll just watch, or I'll watch a sappy television program. Sometimes I'll watch Hallmark when it doesn't get on my nerves.
Mhm.
But I'll do some things like that, or I will call. Sometimes I do call a family member. I try to reach out to somebody I haven't talked to in a while. But I move through. I accept it. I move through it, and I say, well, this is how it is right now, and I'm praying that it's not like this forever. But and I'm not saying that it's easy. But see, I've been away from home and things that are familiar. See, I'm former military, so it's a little bit different for me. I think I'm maybe a little more adaptable, because I'm used to sort of kind of isolation in a sense for periods of time. So maybe I handle it a little bit differently.
Okay. Regina or Sam, whoever wants to deal with the lonely.
Um, and it's interesting because I think I have so much going on, and that's probably that that may be a fault, that I don't have time for loneliness. Like, cause there are some days like I do want to like stay in the bed and I don't want to get up, but I end up getting up, right? Because I got an email to answer, I got this to do, I've got that to do. Um, Loneliness in terms of a relationship.
Or man. I didn't say how long. Remember, I said it could be 15 minutes, but wanting.
Loneliness in terms of a relationship and in terms of a man.
Mhm.
I will say, I mean, right now I'm in something where we have consistent contact. So, and not to say that it's ultimate and that it's wonderful and that it's great, but it works for right now.
Okay.
That, and so I guess that's the cure to loneliness. And it was somebody, it was fun, it was so funny. Somebody posted this the other day on Facebook. They posted about loneliness or about COVID, and they posted about a vibrator, and they posted, okay, so you asked us to be real, Val.
Yeah, I was getting to the sex next, but you go ahead.
Okay, so I'm just going, so of course, because I'm a Scorpio, so I'm going to get to that part. So, the thing about it is that people have been posting about that, because even in COVID-19, even in COVID, like the intimacy part is, can be tricky, especially with somebody that you haven't already been in a relationship with. Because I'm gonna ask you, did you get tested? Where you been? Who you been around? Before I even come into a situation with you. And so right now, that's too difficult to go through all that. So, you just got to do what you got to do. Okay. And I'm going to end it right there.
She kept it clean. Fast. Go ahead, Sammy.
I just find that the only time I think about being I have triggers.
Mhm.
And, like slow jams on the radio or a love song that'll take you back where you're thinking about, different relationships and stuff. I don't know. I just always come to the conclusion right now that I'm better off than being in one because I like me. But I don't know. I don't know if it's because I don't want to. Well, I don't know. I don't know what I'll do. I don't know what I do because I'm busy too. But I don't know what I do. I'm busy, and I think that's what takes away that. I might have a thought,
Mhm.
right? But then I got things to do. I might. So I don't know. I don't know. I have to think about that. I have to.
I'm going to answer it. I haven't answered the other ones, but I'm going to answer it for the ladies that might be listening that feel this way sometimes. So I don't get lonely often. And by lonely, I mean really desire the companionship for 15 minutes, for 1 hour, or relationship or whatever for a man often. But there has been situations that have occurred in my life where I did not see myself single and wished for that moment at least that there was a man. And I don't mean any man. I needed a man who, as Sam said, chose me, wanted me, a man of integrity, a man that loved me. Because I've been married twice and loved 0 times. So, and that was when I buried my mother and when I buried my father. Those were the 2 times I felt the loneliness. Because I watched my brothers while we stood together at both caskets. I watched my brothers go both to their mate and their children. And I didn't have children nor a mate to go to. So I did that by myself. And in that time, I felt the loneliness, and how I dealt with it was, well, the first time I got a place marker to distract me from the loneliness. That was a mess. So the second time around, when I buried my father, I knew the place marker was not what I wanted to do. So I just felt it. So if I wanted to cry, or I felt the loneliness, or the pain got intense, or I felt I just felt it. Whatever it was, I didn't run from it. Because the first time I ran from it, that's where you put a place marker, the wrong man, the wrong thing. That's a trick of the enema.
That's right.
So the best way to deal with any pain to me is to feel it. Sit in it, feel it, own it, write about it, watch Hallmark. And Samantha on Sex and the City can cure you in one episode.
Yes.
That's what, because sometimes I believe human beings, male or female, feel loneliness. I think it's natural. But I'm going to ask the last question for the night on this topic of singleness for the night. And that is, what do you do about sex? Now, I'm in ministry. All of us love the Lord on this, everybody on this Zoom conversation. But people have sexual desires, they have needs, they get horny, whatever you want to say. And you've been single for 20 years or all your life or 7 minutes, whatever. Anybody listening? But there's sex, the need and desire to be touched. I'm not talking about romance now, I'm talking about straight sex. I'm salt and pepper right now. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about that. Because that's real when you're single.
That's real.
That is, and don't know married people, don't write me anything I don't want to hear. Only single people can send me an email about this topic. Don't married people tell me nothing. Okay. Sex, lady, sex.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Okay.
Okay. That's all I'm gonna say.
That speaks for itself.
And also, too, I also want to, I think it's important because we are over 50 and some of us are in menopause. I think it changes. And for me, it has changed greatly. I was a person that was extremely sexual and felt like I needed to have it all the time. And now, yeah. and I still have phone numbers in the book that I can call if I needed to call somebody, if I just had that. But we're in the time of
phone numbers in the book.
Okay. But we are in the time of COVID. I'm paranoid. I'm not calling anybody. You have things that get you through that time, and that's just being real. You have things to get you through that time. And then when you are going through the menopausal thing, and I don't know if many are, but the desire wanes a little bit. And because I also think about what comes with that, what is coming with all of that other stuff. And I know you said just sex, but it's never just sex.
Right.
Nope.
It's never just sex. We are at that point. We are over 50. There's attachment there. That's soul ties. That's, there's stuff going on there. So it's never just sex with me.
Mm-hmm. And it is never just sex for anybody. You're right.
I'm so past that point of meaningless anything. There has to be some sort of connection. And then I have to think about when I want my me time, which is often, so there's a lot that goes with that. So I guess a lot of that for me is what keeps me from going back to that book and calling and dialing the numbers when that time comes.
Now, why haven't you burned that book up yet?
Well, I always like to have a lifesaver now. I'm gonna front. Listen, I'm still human, okay? However, comma.
Sam?
Well, I've been celibate for a long time. And I think that in an instance, it has really saved my life. In my last relationship, I was celibate. And that's
that 3-year relationship?
That 3-year relationship. And that's what allowed me to break it off because sex wasn't in the picture. He lucky. Well, let me shut up. Valgrave said he lucky I ain't slit his throat, but.
Well, ladies, I appreciate the vulnerability in the conversation of singleness. And every woman 50 plus, 40, 20, 30s deals with singleness in the context of being single. It is what it is. You're single, you're not in a relationship. And part of LOL, living out loud, is falling in love with yourself so much that you've got to learn to be okay, because there's a good chance, my sisters, that you may stay single. And then what? I think Phyllis Hyman, one of my favorite songs by her is I Refuse to Be Lonely. And her main part of it is, one thing I can choose, I refuse to be lonely. So being lonely, yes, but sitting in that loneliness is what Phyllis was singing about.
Right.
Moving through it is the goal. Feel it, get through it, be the best you. It's hard to get, but so lonely when you're busy, when you got a life, like Regina was saying, like Marty was saying, like Sam was saying, we have gifts. Live in them, use them, work, bless somebody, build something, become the best you can become. And if you do all of that, having a man would be a lovely cherry on the top, but they can never be the cake. Now, we've already had men in our lives where the cake sisters, right?
Yes.
Not a good idea. So on that note, I want to remember and remind everybody to please subscribe, tell your friends, and in the words of Dolly Parton, find out who you are and do it on purpose. Until next time.
Hello, ladies, and welcome to Season 2 of LOL, Living Out Loud. So nothing's changed. Grab your lady, that means your girls. Grab yourself a drink and a journal. You're going to need a pen. And come on in to LOL, Living Out Loud.